2019 plus. My name is Rabbi Shlomo Silverman. On behalf of the Council of Religious Advisors, I want to welcome you to the best 4 years of your life. There was a story of a man who was walking down the streets of a small town, and he came across a young boy sitting on the side of the road. And this boy was holding a glass jar. And as he got closer, he looked inside the jar and he saw fleas. And these fleas were jumping. And what amazed him, despite the fact there was no lid on the jar, the fleas were not jumping out. So he walked up to the boy and he said, "What's your secret? How do you do it? Everyone knows that fleas, they can jump over 6 feet tall. 6 feet high. How is it possible that they're not jumping out of the jar?" So the boy smiled and says, "If you give me a couple bucks, I'll show you my secret." The man hands him the money and he says, "It's really very simple. First you put the lid on top of the jar, and then you hold a candle on the bottom of the jar. And when the jar heats up, the fleas, they feel the heat, and they attempt to jump 6 feet in the air. What happens? They hit their head 4 inches up with a big smack, and they fall back down. And then they try it again, and they jump up and they hit the ceiling again, and another smack. And they do this again and again until eventually they realize that if they jump less than 4 inches, they won't hit their head and they won't get hurt." And the boy says at this point, you could actually take off the lid and the fleas will not jump out of the can. In a way, you guys will like those fleas. Up until now, each of you has been raised in your own personal homes. The environment which you've brought up has taught you how to jump. Your families, your schools, your societies have instilled in you morals and values and ways to view the world. You have been given the tools to start your independent lives here at CMU, away from your families. You may realize, however, that throughout your childhood, you've created a jar on yourself. You've found comfort zones. You're surrounded by people living similar lives of your own. Now let's go back to the story. Imagine for a moment if one flea decided, "I'm going to try one more time to jump as high as I can." He would be free. And all the other fleas around him would be able to jump as well, and they would be free to roam the world. You all have a life before you that's full of infinite possibilities. You are venturing out of your comfort zones on your own to become your own individual. Don't keep yourself in your jar. Each of you has amazing talents and strengths. Think out of the box. Don't limit yourself to what those around you are doing. Here at CMU, you have tremendous resources. Get to know your fellow students who are different from you. Connect to your advisors and the unbelievable faculty and staff from Carnegie Mellon. And connect to your spirituality in order to uplift your studies and make your college experience more meaningful. CMU knows how to challenge its students. There'll be many all-nighters pulled, deadlines to meet, group projects to work on, and problems that seem unsolvable. And at some point you may feel like you can't get through it. So even when the times are tough and the fire is burning underneath you, motivate yourself by staying focused on your goal. You may bump your head once, twice, try again, you will succeed. I challenge you today to be a trendsetter for yourself and for everyone else here at CMU. Don't be like those fleas, accepting the status quo of those around them. You can accomplish amazing things thinking outside of that jar that you put your mind into, which you will turn automatically affect all those around you. May God grant you success in your studies throughout your years here at CMU. May be blessed to break out of your box and tap into your potential. Put your heart into your work, and you can accomplish great things. Amen.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Convocation 2015. My name is Meg Boyle, and I'm one of this year's head orientation counselors. It is my honor to welcome you all to the Carnegie Mellon community. We have gathered here this afternoon to share a tradition we call Convocation. Convocation is the formal start to your college career, a bookend that complements graduation as the formal conclusion. Look around at you at the entire class of 2019. The next time you will all be gathered like this will be at the end of your remarkable college experience. I hope that you leave tonight with a fond memory which will last you through the next 4 years. It is now my pleasure to introduce our provost, Dr. Farnham Johanian. Thank you.
Thank you, Mag. Good afternoon, class of 2019 plus. Are you excited to be here at Carnegie Mellon? Well, we're really excited to have you here, I have to tell you. I am very pleased to join President Suresh, the university leadership, and of course our faculty and staff to welcome all of you to Carnegie Mellon University. And what an amazing day it is to be an incoming student at CMU. Let me ask another question. Did you have a great week? Well, in that case, please join me in thanking Gina, our Dean of Students. Meg Boyle, of course, Ann Wichner, the entire crew that helped with this, and especially all of the student orientation team for organizing this event. They've done an amazing job. I know you all agree with that. Well, as all of you know, Carnegie Mellon is a remarkable institution with deep traditions in promoting excellence in teaching, research, and scholarship, and a well-deserved reputation for transfer of knowledge and ideas to benefit society. Your class will always be special to me because you are my inaugural undergraduate class as I assume the honor and responsibility of being the provost of this great institution. Thank you for that honor. Tell you a story. It's a tradition at Convocation for the provost to quote Andrew Carnegie when he established what we now know is Carnegie Mellon University. Our story begins on November 15, 1900, when Andrew Carnegie wrote a letter to the mayor of Pittsburgh announcing his wish to establish a technical school in the city. He wrote, and I quote, "If the city of Pittsburgh can furnish a site, which I hope will be of ample size for future extensions, I shall be delighted to furnish money for such a school, taking care to provide room for additions to the buildings to meet the certain growth in Pittsburgh." The letter continued, "There are many questions to decide, involving investigation, careful study, and much labor. But I'm in a position to assure you that my heart is in the work." With that letter, this university began, and that phrase, "my heart is in the work," became our motto. Exactly 110 years ago, the city of Pittsburgh provided the land you're sitting on. And in 1905, the inaugural class of 120 students, that's all, entered CMU, most going through part-time in the evening after work, of course, and more than 90% of them were from Pittsburgh. In fact, in his letter to the mayor, Andrew Carnegie said, and I quote, "I know of no better foundation from which to ascend than manual labor in youth," pointing out several of the world's most prominent individuals who began as manual laborers, including William Shakespeare and Abraham Lincoln. President Suresh, I really like the idea of making manual labor a requirement for admission to CMU. Not for the president. We can make a lot of parents happy, as it turns out. Just imagine this. Do the dishes before you're admitted to CMU. Take the trash out before you're admitted to CMU. And most of all, clean your room before you're admitted to CMU. Nobody's applauding. I'm wondering why. century later, here you are, very different from that inaugural class in just about every way. We have 1,580 freshmen from 42 states and 39 countries in your class. CMU is an exceptionally multinational, multicultural community. Our global community includes 1,500 faculty from 48 nations, uniquely attuned to global citizenship, and a borderless knowledge enterprise that increasingly defines education and learning in the world today. Today, you join our global community. Soon, you will see that this university is more than a collection of classes, academic majors, or departments. It's a community dedicated to personal and intellectual growth of our students, you. A community dedicated to excellence in learning, discovery, and creative pursuits. Perhaps what makes Carnegie Mellon truly unique is the way in which we intertwine science, technology, engineering, business, with social science, humanities, and the arts. We do this in a nurturing environment that advances human knowledge and the human condition. Today, you join our intellectually diverse community. Before I wrap up, I was thinking about a couple of nights ago what to share with you as you start your academic career at CMU. I want to share with you, I want to weigh in with 3 practical pieces of advice as you launch into your CMU undergraduate experience. First, don't be afraid to venture outside your academic boundaries. CMU is recognized for its interdisciplinary breakthroughs that happen when disciplines collide, or preferably collaborate. Step outside of your comfort zone. Indulge in readings that's not required. Take part in activities outside the classroom. Attend a musical or a theater performance. Volunteer at a school. Go to a lecture outside your majors. And as Randy Pouch said, get in touch with your crayon box. It's like cross-training for your mind. It allows you to explore and take leaps with your imagination. Second, focus on the present. Focus on your time at Carnegie Mellon. Of course, you should worry about getting a job in 4 or 5 years. We get that. I'm a parent. I know. A very wise person once said, one of life's ultimate luxuries is the power to choose how you spend your time. You know, you may not realize this now, but in college, you have that luxury. Make every experience a meaningful experience. Make every interaction a learning opportunity. Take advantage of the extraordinary intellectual and creative community that surrounds you. Third, perhaps more importantly, treat yourself with care. Lean on your existing or new relationships. The friendships you make here will be lifelong. Just as you will learn the skills that enable your academic and professional success, be mindful that your body is sacred. Eat right, go for a run or a bike ride, trust your instincts and be safe. Make time for yourself, and make time to help a friend on campus. And by the way, get some sleep. And finally, on occasion, stop for a moment and look around you. Actually do that as you leave today. When you get in the middle of the lawn, just stop for a moment and look around. You are at CMU. Remind yourself that you're exactly where you want to be. That this is a fleeting, wondrous moment in your life, and that you have earned this rare opportunity to expand your horizons with some of the most gifted cohorts, all of you, and accomplished scholars on the planet. So, once again, congratulations, welcome, and enjoy this most wonderful chapter in your lives. Thank you very much. With that, it's my pleasure to introduce J.R. Marshall, this year's student body president. J.R. is a senior, double majoring in social and decision sciences and Chinese studies in Dietrich College. I don't know how you do it, J.R. JR is also a lifelong Pittsburgh Pirates fan. Come on, you live in Pittsburgh, you gotta do it. And secretly a tap dancer. So please join me in welcoming JR as he tap dances to the podium. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Provost Jehanian. And thank you, Meg, Boyle, the entire orientation staff, Dr. Suresh, everyone. The class of 2019 plus, our newest first years. Thank you for this opportunity to welcome you all, our newest and most exciting members of our Carnegie Mellon campus community. It is a great honor, and I am extremely humbled to take this stage today, especially when I consider the accomplishments of every tremendous individual on this stage with me, and they're standing within Carnegie Mellon, what I and so many consider to be the premier university in the world. It is beyond humbling to take a seat and to take the stage with you all today. And it's true. As someone who sees themselves as not much more than your average kid and Pirates fan from Carnegie, Pennsylvania, it is hard for me to put to words what welcoming you all today means to me personally. It was only 3 years ago that I sat where you all are today at my convocation. And it was only a little over 3 years ago that I sat at my kitchen table with my parents at 11:59 p.m. in the middle of April 2012, refreshing where am I in the process over and over again, until my whole life was changed. When I saw that Carnegie Mellon extended me the opportunity to pursue a degree in the Dietrich College, I knew my life would never be the same. The prospect of joining the ranks of students like yourselves, who are constantly on the forefront of every field in the modern world, from computer science and engineering to musical theater, I knew I was presented an opportunity that I could absolutely not take lightly. And after what I am sure was a long but nonetheless great couple of days of orientation, I feel as though I can only urge you all, much like Provost Jehanian said, to do one thing. At some point, have a moment of realization like I did in April 2012 at my kitchen table with my parents. Take a second to realize what becoming a part of this community really means. Whatever it is that you plan to study here or that you end up studying here, whatever your affiliations may become, or wherever your Carnegie Mellon experiences may take you, you're sitting here today with all of us because each and every one of you truly brings a unique potential to the table. When I look at this field of future Nobel laureates, published scholars, business executives, Tony Award winners, that unique potential within all of us is a little bit overwhelming. But ladies and gentlemen, that unique potential I mentioned is personal, and it comes from within all of us. The potential that lies between all of us, between you and your fellow classmates of the class of 2019 plus, but more importantly, between all of you and the entire Carnegie Mellon community, that potential is far greater and exceeds what any individual member of this community could possibly achieve. In your moment of realization that I mentioned, whether it's right now or later, when you really consider the collective that is this university, that is so proud and excited and happy to have you all, in that moment, try to grasp the possibilities that lie between all of us. The future, the life that we can all work towards together. I'm sure by now, all of you are well aware of the many stigmas that this community can carry. I'm sure you all know how hard the classes can be, how bitter cold the winters can be, and how we, as CMU students, might not always be the happiest or healthiest college students in the country. Although you will confront these and so many other unpleasant realities at some point, don't forget the potential that I just mentioned. And you will also see, and you may have already seen, a sign that hangs in Moorwood Gardens. It reads, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Margaret Mead's quote means a lot to us, whether we know it or not. Her insistence that a group of determined individuals is the only thing that has ever changed the world is by far and large a very accurate and impactful statement. It matters to me, and it matters a lot to all of us today. Because if a small group of determined citizens can change the world, what's stopping over 1,500 of Carnegie Mellon's newest and arguably most successful class to date? If we all consider, like I said before, the unique potential we all bring to the table, along with the boundless potential that arises when we work together in community, ladies and gentlemen, we can achieve the happiest, healthiest, diversity-welcoming, progressively thinking, world-changing university and student body that has ever existed. My name is John Robert Marshall. I am a fourth-generation Pittsburgher and first-generation college student. And it is my utmost honor, as a senior and student body president, to welcome you all to our Carnegie Mellon campus community today. Let's make this the best year Carnegie Mellon has ever seen, together. Thank you.
And in 2015 was elected to the National Academy of Science. She is the first female scientist from CMU to be elected to NAS. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Behrman.
Thank you for the introduction. Greetings to my administration, my peers, my faculty. It's a great honor for me to address the freshman class this year. My name is Marlene Berman. I'm a professor in the psychology department and a member of the Interdisciplinary Center for the Neural Basis of Cognition. I am privileged to be part of this great academic community called Carnegie Mellon University. I arrived at CMU thinking that I would stay here for a year or two, and that was in 1993. My husband is also a faculty member here, tied to psychology and computer science. We know what a great institution Carnegie Mellon is. Several years ago, we resigned from CMU to go back to Canada. I'd received my PhD from the University of Toronto, and we have family there. We left CMU. We moved to another university in Canada, but lasted there for 6 months. We were fortunate that CMU was willing to take us back, and we still wake up in the morning saying that we made the right decision to return. You can understand then why I am such a positive advocate for this amazing institution. I know well what CMU has to offer. And now you get to be part of this institution as well. Your arrival on the campus is no doubt exciting for you, and it's exciting for us as well. On Tuesday, I had occasion to meet with several of you at the last lecture discussion. I trust you all had as good an exchange as I did with Eric, Zach, Kayla, Vanessa, Hardik, Fernando, Graciela, Josh, Christina, Jeannie, Michaela, Isabella, and Prachi. I hope I've not admitted anyone. Apologies if I have. You are all most welcome at CMU, my home and my university. You've undoubtedly heard many people encourage and exhort you to carpe diem, to seize the day, to pluck the day as it is ripe, a phrase coined by the Roman lyricist Horatius, but made popular by Robin Williams. Actually, the popular press has done us a disservice. Carpe diem is only a part of the phrase. Carpe diem is short for Carpe diem quam minimum credulo postero, meaning seize the day, trusting little in the future, but being mindful of it too. So if you fall asleep now and you hear nothing else, my message to you is seize the day fully with both hands, but pave the way to your future as well. How do you do this? My remarks today fall into three categories. The seize the day category, which I will take to mean your sojourn at CMU. The traps and obstacles category, and the think about the future category. In preparing for this event, I went around interviewing many people, asking what they would tell the incoming freshmen. I will simply plagiarize some of their wisdom and take credit for their comments. So let's talk about seizing the day. You are here to be educated. Education is to make you think hard, to disagree, to exercise independent judgment, and to question assumptions. Do so. This will make your learning deeper and more fun. Some students told me, encourage the freshmen to double major, to be inquisitive, to meet a professor, to get involved in a lab. Many students told me, be sure to tell the freshmen that things can and probably will change over their 4 years, maybe even dramatically. Tyler came to CMU as a physics major. He changed to engineering in his second year, and he's now a psych major. Ali came as a voice major and double majored in biology and psychology, and one of your own OCs came as a voice major and switched to BXA so that you become well-versed in music therapy. The students also said, I should tell you not to worry too much about finding your passion. It will find you. And it may happen simply because you're in the wrong place at the right time. This is clearly true of my own experience. As you can probably hear, I did not grow up in the United States. I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa. I grew up under the yoke of the apartheid system, long before Nelson Mandela was released from prison. And in my final year in high school, South Africa was embroiled in the most devastating race riots in its history. My plans to go to medical school were thwarted, and my goal became to leave South Africa permanently as soon as possible. Turns out, this is not easy to do. And so my career trajectory took twists and turns, and I never went to medical school. I managed to snag a fellowship to the University of London after getting a master's degree in Johannesburg. And opportunities that I could never have imagined presented themselves along the way. And I seized them, each one taking me to a new and different place. I could never, in my wildest imagination, have foreseen that I would be a professor at CMU. That I would be CMU's first female scientist elected to the National Academy of Science, with many others to follow soon. That I would be studying how the brain interprets and makes sense of the signals from the eye. And that I would have the honor of addressing you today. A wealth of opportunities and twists and turns lie before you too. Embrace them, savor the change, and take a deep breath. And you too might land up addressing an incoming freshman class at some future point. Be sure to also look beyond the classroom, talk to people, go to sporting events, cheer on your classmates, go to clubs, make new friends, friends who are distinctly different from you. Okay, so you get it. You can seize the day. You're pumped and you're ready to take on this new chapter of your life. I hope that your journey will be smooth and easy, but there are likely to be traps and obstacles on the way. College is a challenge, and CMU is a challenge. Yes, the academic work will be difficult and at times seemingly overwhelming. There is help. Your professor, your teaching and course assistants, and your friends can all come to your aid. Build bridges to them and ask for their help. Take charge of your learning and manage your time wisely. Perhaps the greater challenge, however, and one that is not always brought to the forefront, is the personal challenge. For most of you, you are entering an entirely new phase, living away from home, perhaps very far away from home, being solely responsible for your successes and your failures, and confronting complicated personal situations. Students almost always undergo some personal crisis, either small or large. And this is true for even the hardiest and most accomplished students. It's part of your personal growth. Alcohol, drugs, and sexual issues loom large, and CMU is tame compared to most universities I know. Taking charge of these situations will require your awareness, your willpower, and ensuring that you have surrounded yourself with the bridges and the backup and the support that you have built. Other challenges may arise as well. Many students suffer from the imposter syndrome, thinking they're not as smart as their peers, and that somebody is bound to discover this. And this is a source of anxiety. Mental health issues are not uncommon among college students, as you all know, and there may be times of deep uncertainty and profound emotion. Take note now and remember, you are not alone. CMU has loads of people who are here to help you. Support services, counseling services, and me. So, if you wish, you can take out your cell phone number, and you can enter my email. It's berman@cmu.edu. BEHRMANN@cmu.edu. You can find me in the directory as well. You can also find my office phone number, which is 412-268-2790. Call me. I can try to help you. I'd be happy to try. And if I can't, I may know someone who can. You are here because we believe in you. We believe you can succeed, and we, as the faculty, are here for the express purpose of making this happen. In fact, we probably care too much. A couple of years ago, one of the students I advised came to see me on a Friday afternoon, upset about a B he had received on his English essay, and deeply concerned that this would jeopardize his admission to medical school. He cried in my office. His parents really wanted him to be a doctor. I was concerned about him and asked whether I could call him later on his cell phone to check in on him. He gave me his number. I called at 5 o'clock, no reply. 6 o'clock, no reply. 7 o'clock, no reply. 7:15, no reply. There was no way I was letting this go. I called campus police, who went to his dorm. After receiving no reply, when they knocked, they simply broke the door down. You can imagine how surprised he was to be woken from his nap by the campus police. I want you to know you are not alone. Someone is watching out for you. Forgive us if we're even watching a little too carefully. We're here for you. And by the way, the student elected not to go to medical school. He never really wanted to be a doctor, and he's enrolled in law school right now. Okay, so my final category concerns the last part. Do not only think about what the immediate time can do, but be mindful of the future. Think about what 1,580 or 90 students with the highest average SAT score since 2009, and the most freshmen engineering, and the highest proportion of women since 2009 can do. Each of you individually and you collectively can change the world. In my Jewish tradition, we are inspired by the notion of tikkun olam, repair the world. The need for repair is everywhere. The environment, education, health, poverty, the list goes on. In my Jewish tradition too, we say that you're not required to complete the work, but you are also not free to desist from engaging in it. Take on a project, a mission. You're a member of a community, a society, and the world. And you, that means you, can effect change. So let me conclude by highlighting the key message. You belong here. You are now part of CMU. You're a part of this amazing community of scholars, creators, and thinkers. You have what it takes to be successful in the time you are here. And when you hit those speed bumps, we and I are here to help you over them. And as you move through CMU, taking classes, switching majors, maybe many times, and then switching again, keep an eye on the future. You can repair some part of the world. Send me email. Come and talk to me. I and the rest of CMU are rooting for you. Sally forth, freshmen. Seize the day and carve the future. Welcome to CMU.
Thank you, Dr. Berman. When the Carnegie Technical Schools, now known as Carnegie Mellon University, opened their doors on October 16, 1905, 120 students comprised the charter class. When these students graduated in June 1908, a bronze tile was installed in the floor of the entrance to Baker Hall to commemorate their accomplishments. In that tradition, a tile has been added to the floor each year thereafter to honor the most recent graduating class. It is my pleasure to present the class of 2019 with your class tile. Will Christopher Grosak and Colleen McGovern please come forward? It is our hope that this tile will pass through the hands of every member of your class over the next 4 years and find its way back to your commencement day, reflecting the memories of your time here. The next 4 years will hold many things for you. New people, new experiences, new challenges. I hope that when your tile is added to Baker Hall upon your commencement, you will have made the most of your opportunities and contributed in your own unique way to the Carnegie Mellon community. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the 9th president of Carnegie Mellon University, Dr. Subra Suresh.
I'll stand here so you can see me. Welcome. Just 4 days ago that I had the pleasure and privilege of addressing all of you. I had even the enormous pleasure of meeting your parents and family members who are here. As I mentioned Sunday evening, which I want to reiterate today, we are enormously fortunate to have this wonderfully accomplished class. as much as you may think you are fortunate to come to Carnegie Mellon University. Every year, the quality of the students keeps increasing. You're destined to create products, processes, as well as show your creativity from literature to the fine arts to different spheres of life in ways in which no previous generation or no previous cohort of students may have done. So welcome. By now, most of your parents have left town, even though this morning as I was driving in, I saw some New Jersey license plates, and Michigan and California and so forth. Please ask your parents to come back frequently. I also want to welcome, for his inaugural convocation, our Provost, Farnham Jahanian, whom you just met. Many of you come from high schools. All of you come from high schools. There is no title called provost. So you may be wondering, what does a provost do in a university? So if you go to the Oxford University English Dictionary and look at the meaning of provost, the literal meaning of the word is that the provost is the warden of a jail. The keeper of a jail. That's true. I'm not making it up. In some places, like in Scotland, the provost is the mayor of the town. So they call Lord Provost. So you can call him Lord Jahanian if you wish. When you walked in today, you were serenaded and you were welcomed by bagpipes. And you will hear bagpipes for very important occasions during the course of next 4 years or 4+ years. But the next time the entire class will sit together and listen to the bagpipes and your achievements will be celebrated will be in May of 2019 when the bagpipers come for your commencement. I very much look forward to that occasion and I cannot wait to see what you're going to do in the next 4 years and beyond. Your class is the very first class in which there are 90 students who are termed presidential scholars. 37 of you are men in the presidential scholar cohort, and 53 are young women. Welcome. As previous speakers mentioned, Carnegie Mellon has some unique traditions, unique culture, unique opportunities, especially at the intersections of disciplines where traditional universities, no connections are made. Here, you have the opportunity to make extraordinary connections, whether you are a student or a faculty member or a researcher. So I challenge you to explore those connections. The entire university, what it has to offer for you, is much, much greater than the sum of what each of the 7 colleges has to offer. Make full use of it. If you don't tap into that, you are not sampling the rich variety of what this great institution has to offer. The university has extraordinary faculty. Make sure you get to know them outside of your own disciplines. The title that was given to your class representatives that will be placed on the floor of Baker Hall 4 years from now is just symbolic. As I mentioned on Sunday, what is not symbolic, what is real, is the history that you're going to write every day during the next 4 years, and the history that you will create after you leave this university. So please be mindful of this. This is not some static history left from 115 years ago from Andrew Carnegie. This is your history, the dynamic history that will define this university for future generations to come. You are also at a particular point in time at this university where you're going to see extraordinary visible growth in addition to intellectual growth. In the next 4 years, you're going to see physical infrastructure evolve at this campus to a much greater extent than ever before in its 115-year history. Hopefully in your final year, you will be the beneficiary of all that development. We want to hear your ideas. We want to hear your thoughts and suggestions on how you would like to see this infrastructure evolve, what experiences you would like to see have as we build this university for future generations to come. This is especially important for us that we get your perspectives. One other thing I did last year is to walk in to a group of students, sit with them, and try to have a meal with them. And it's already on my calendar for this year to do many, many times in different locations. So if you're sitting at a table with your friends, please save an empty seat for me. I'd like to get to know as many of you as much as possible. I very much look forward to interacting with so many of you. It is now my pleasure to do the tradition that's uniquely what takes place at Carnegie Mellon, to hand you off to the different colleges and schools so that you will have an opportunity to go into significant depth in your sphere of pursuit, your discipline in which you're going to get a degree. But please keep in mind, you are a student at Carnegie Mellon as much as you're a student in an individual college. So rightfully, you should have an affiliation for that college lifelong. But at the same time, make sure that Carnegie Mellon, which has so much to offer you, is something that you benefit from in its entirety and not only a portion of it. So now I would like the entering class in each college to rise as I announce them so that I may present to you your college or school dean. In random order, will the students from the College of Engineering please rise? Please keep standing for a minute. Dean Garrett, Dean Jacobson, Dean Larson, and faculty and staff of the college, I present to you the College of Engineering class of 2019. Congratulations, please be seated. Will the students from the College of Fine Arts please rise? Dean Martin, Dean Anderson, Dean CMU, and faculty and staff of the college, I present to you the CFA class of 2019 and 2020 for architecture. Congratulations, please be seated. Will the students from the Bachelor of Humanities and Arts program, the Bachelor of Science and Arts program, and the Bachelor of Computer Science and Arts program please rise? They're over there. You can't sit down so fast. I have a long list to read here. Dean Martin, Dean Shyness, Dean Gilman, Dean Moore with interesting glasses. And faculty and staff of the College of Fine Arts, the Dietrich College of Humanities and Social Sciences, the Mellon College of Science, and the College of Computer Science, the School of Computer Science. I present to you the BHA, the BSA, and the BCSA class of 2019. Congratulations. Will the students from the Dietrich College of Humanities and Social Sciences please rise? Dean Shyness, Dean Junker, and faculty and staff of the college, I present to you the Dietrich College of Humanities and Social Sciences, class of 2019. I look forward to receiving my orange slippers. Will the students from the Science and Humanities Scholars Program please rise? Dean Gilman, Dean Shyness, and faculty and staff of the colleges, I present to you the SHS class of 2019. Congratulations. Will the students from the Mellon College of Science please rise? I did that song when I was a freshman. Thank you very much. Dean Gilman, Dean Gratzinger, and faculty and staff of the college, I present to you the MCS class of 2019. Congratulations, please be seated. Will the students from the School of Computer Science please rise? Dean Moore, Dean Cortina, and faculty and staff of the college, I present to you the SCS class of 2019. Take it off because otherwise I can't read. You have to keep standing. So, thank you very much. Please be seated. This is like Christmas early in August. I wish we had more colleges and schools at CMU. Will the students from the Tepper School of Business please rise? Executive Director Pajewski, and faculty and staff of the college, actually school. I present to you the Tepper class of 2019. I think we covered all the colleges and schools. Let me just take a minute to express how different the campus feels today compared to just a week ago or 2 weeks ago. The buzz, the energy, and the electricity that you feel on campus walking around is very palpable. So thank you for bringing that to this campus after a summer hiatus when students are all gone, undergraduate students are all gone. I want to offer my congratulations to all of you. Again, welcome to Carnegie Mellon University. Members of the platform group, faculty, staff, and friends of the university, please rise and join a group of student vocalists as they lead us in the singing of the alma mater song.
express my thanks to President Suresh, Dr. Jahanian, Dr. Berman, today's speakers, singers, deans, faculty, and staff, and most of all to you, class of 2019, for attending this special ceremony. Once again, I welcome you to the Carnegie Mellon community and wish you the best for this coming semester and for the rest of your time here at CMU. In a moment, the bagpipers will begin playing the recessional music. Please remain in the tent until the bagpipers have recessed. I hope all of you will join us for the Convocation dinner in Beacon Gymnasium and following the scheduled booklet following the recessional.